Hello. Hope you guys are all doing well today. I've got a couple cool articles today. I've got Europa, I've got some humpback whales, I've got some bacteria, so we'll just hop right into it. So Jupiter's moon Europa has an icy crust that produces around 1,000 tons of oxygen per 24 hours, which is enough to keep 1 million humans breathing for a day. NASA believes Europa has a subsurface salty ocean, and they are interested in if this could support life, which would be really cool. Personally, makes sense. I saw a video the other day with Neil deGrasse Tyson stating that oxygen's unstable and it doesn't appear anywhere unless there's the oxygen. However, NASA is stating that there's charged particles from Jupiter that are slamming into Europa, splitting the ice molecules into hydrogen and oxygen, respectively. Europa is the fourth largest known Jovian out of the 95 and has a nice 3,100 kilometer diameter, which is not bad. NASA's Europa Clipper mission will investigate the possibilities of supporting life, but only when their gear makes it to Europa, which is only in 2030, which is a little whiles away, but not too far out. Going on to the humpback whales. So humpback whales have decreased in population by 20% since 2012, but scientists aren't too concerned yet. They used to be on the brink of extinction in 1976. Hunting them was outlawed, and at the time they expected there were no more than 1,600. They can't count them all accurately there, but it's a low number. That was a good estimation. Now they think it's around 33,000, so it's still significantly higher than it used to be. So even though it has decreased, it's still a good amount, and our hunting isn't going around anymore, so they're pretty fine. They're not too endangered anymore. Different sources claim different reasonings on why they dropped by 20%. Heat waves was one considered, so global warming, all that good stuff. It's because a lot of them washed up on shores around the world. A person called Andrew Trites, a zoology professor from the University of British Columbia, also agrees climate change could have had an impact, but he also stated that a readjustment after such a large population boom needed to be stopped. Like they overproduced, and now they're supply and demand issues with their food, so they bottlenecked themselves a little bit. And then it just kicks back, and now they're in a more stable, if there's too many rabbits, there's going to be more foxes, and then when there's too many foxes, there's going to be less rabbits, and then there's going to be less foxes, the whole system. So they think it's just a big population boom. Now, moving on to the plastic-eating bacteria, there are 450 million tons of plastic being produced every year. 400 of those millions of tons become waste. However, there has been a huge push towards finding better ways of recycling those plastics so that we can produce less and create less waste. Our golden boy, bacteria, has demonstrated the ability to chew down plastics and put them in a state that they can be reused. According to reports, by 2050 there will be more plastics than fish in the ocean, which really represents the dating world. If you think about the whole saying of there are plenty more fish in the sea, but now more than half of those fish will literally be trash. So, keep your eyes open, people. So essentially, to properly recycle plastic, you need to break it down to its base form. I believe it's called monomers. And this really only works if it's like a one-type plastic, like a pure one-type. But as of late, we mix a lot of cheap plastics together, so nothing's really pure. And that's where these bacteria really come in handy, because they'll actually break down these plastics to their basic form, even if there's multiple kinds. In 2016, Japan discovered a bacteria, and this is kind of what started this whole thing, and I remember hearing about it back then, that can break down the plastics. And then a manhunt kind of started of, oh wow, we got a pretty good solution here to the plastic issue. It's obviously not... You're going to need a lot of different solutions all put together, but this definitely fills a gap in the market of dealing with plastics. They call it enzymatic recycling, and Carbios, a French biotech company, states the industry will grow to a $200 billion plus industry. So there's money to be made here as well, right? And that's what you need for change to happen. You need somebody to make money. The Japanese variant is the only one that can solely live off of plastic, so it can literally live just eating those plastics. It doesn't need any other sources of food. They've been GMOing the fuck out of it, and they said they'll probably find a new, better variant, or just new, better bacteria that does it better before they've optimized this one to the point of it being a god, right? So they're gonna call it quits on this one because they think they're gonna find something better, but they are just relentlessly optimizing this one so that it can eat the plastics faster and whatnot. But yeah, this is all I had today. If you guys enjoyed it, leave a comment below what you guys think about it, and you guys have a good one. Peace.